this is your weekly astrology for July 8th through 14th. After this, we'll have the weekly readings. You can skip through this if you want to. I'm not going to pull any cards. I'm just going to talk about the astrology because there's enough on here to talk about. So, the first thing that we'll talk about is Neptune. Neptune is, we're going to talk about the retrogrades, I should say. So, Neptune. Neptune is coming in to talk about your dreams, your desires, your opinions of situations in your life, and where your direction of healing is going. There are consequences that you need to face from decisions that you have made, and you're going to feel the effect of those throughout this month, actually. Okay, so if you've done everything that you were supposed to do, you'll be fine. If not, we'll see. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about that. Next, we have Saturn, Pluto, and the North Node. And all of these I kind of packed together because they're all about life directions. Your North Node is all about your life plan. It's the direction that you're going into. If you look at that on your chart, you'll see, you know, that's who you're growing up to become, if that makes any sense. And it's getting that life plan in order, in check with yourself, to see where your future is headed. So it goes into retrograde to kind of shake you up and get you to look at things more clearly. Pluto is cleaning up your life. It is making transformations in your life and changes that need to happen in order for you to gain more power in your life. Saturn is getting rid of bad habits, people, situation. You're facing fears, and it's bringing in those challenging moments that need to be brought to the forefront. Okay? Now, something new. We have Chiron coming in for a while. And Chiron deals with your inner pains. Chiron to me brings up old family issues, things that we have subconsciously pushed down inside of us, habits that we have accrued that are just a part of our being, how we choose relationships subconsciously that are not good for us. And it's going to help us master those to become better individuals. As long as you don't fight the retrogrades, these will benefit you. Okay? So throughout the whole month, or I'm sorry, throughout this whole week, but yeah, half of the month as well, we have the Cancer in the Sun position. So Cancer in the Sun is illuminating your need for settlement. So your home, the relationships that you're in, the friends that you know, it's like, are these my comfort zone? Are these people and situations that I want to keep forever? It'll also have you highlighting things that you do want to keep in your life, and you're going to work harder to keep them. Okay? It'll be your basic thought. Like, that is the top, not the top priority, but the first thing that you'll, you know how when you go through evaluations of certain things, like, should I do this? You have one priority, two priority, third priority, you know, of how you look at things. Your first priority will be, is this something that I want to keep with me? Okay. I didn't know how to put that into words because I can't speak. But Your emotions will also run deep during this time. Any moons that come in will be double strength, which is interesting because you have a new moon in Cancer on Friday the 13th. Okay, so that's like quadruple the energy. Okay. Also be careful of your emotions during this time. Now on Tuesday the 10th, you have two things. You have Jupiter going direct for a while, the rest of the month, and this is things coming in to surprise you. Jupiter brings surprises. It brings things that help you in the future. It brings you wisdom, and it brings you growth, and it brings good luck. Okay, so look for money, people, things that are going to be invested into your future. Okay. Then you have Venus and Virgo. Now, things that you may have not finished are going to be brought up around this time. Almost like for a resurgence. And this is a time for you to make a critical decision. Okay? But be careful about overthinking something and then putting yourself back in that situation. Okay, so keep it safe. So if something happens and you don't know what to do, the first thing that you're going to do is pause. Okay, say no, take a day to think about it, and then come back with an answer. Do not do any immediate reactions, because you're either going to be undercritical or overcritical at this time. Okay, especially with the Virgo and the Cancer sign, it's just not good. Okay, new moon in Cancer on Friday. Now I just want to say, be careful. Any emotional decisions that you're making, anything that brings out any emotion in you, be careful about making those decisions. Okay, you will be moved very easily around this time. Okay, you can be manipulated very easily, so be careful, because you're so sensitive that you want to help, you want to love, you want to support, and there may be people around you or situations that can take advantage of that. So there's a need for you to be more emotionally secure, which is interesting because that was the same thing with Venus and Virgo. Okay, so you can be overcritical at the beginning of the week, and then towards the end you're just like, maybe I should give it another chance. Maybe I should, you know, they burnt me once, but maybe it won't happen again. So be very careful about that. This is a good week for you guys to take a moment or take a day to think about something and then give an answer. Okay, if it's true, if it's honest, if it's genuine, you can wait one more day. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and I will see you later for the weekly readings right after this. Bye. Hello everybody. Sorry if you didn't hear me, my microphone wasn't on. But this is a weekly reading for earth signs for the week of July 8th through 14th. And we're going to start with Taurus. So Spirit, what do you have for Taurus for the week of July 8th through 14th? What would you like for them to know, pay attention to, or be aware of this week? We have Justice in reverse, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Cups in reverse, Four of Swords in reverse, Two of Wands, and the Tower in reverse. Now let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck. Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands in reverse. So we're going to talk about the overall energy. You're in a situation this week, Taurus, where you feel like you can't be heard or you can't move forward. Like there's something blocking you and you have to defend your wants and needs. I do see you rethinking those. those wants and needs because you have to fight so hard. And it doesn't seem like you're moving forward. It's like you think that you may be doing too much, and you may be doing too much, okay? But we'll get back to that. So it feels like something is imbalanced. You may have something going on with the law, or you just feel unjustly treated in a situation, like things aren't going the way that you want them to go, and you're very, I feel like you know what you're doing is right, or you feel like what you're doing is right, okay? And it's causing some disruption in your life, and it's something that you need to pay attention to, okay? There's a need for you to balance, especially with the Two of Pentacles here, okay? There's a need for you to balance this unjust situation, and maybe a love situation with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This could be you being immature in a situation and not looking at the whole picture. Or this could be that other person. And I feel like you're trying to balance everything to get it to go right. It looks like you just have some things going on, and you're trying to balance life because you want to move forward. You have visions of moving forward, okay? You are taking steps by balancing, and it feels like you are moving forward, okay? But there's something in what you're doing, you're not seeing the whole picture, okay? There may be a message that you get, okay, about not being practical in what it is that you're doing, okay? I feel like because you are seeing some movement, you don't want to move, okay? You don't want to change with the Tower in reverse, okay? And you feel like maybe someone isn't seeing you, or someone isn't respecting what it is that you're trying to bring to the table. But the thing is, like I said before, you're fighting and you're defending yourself, but you're not moving. It's like you're waiting for something that isn't happening. You're not going from the upright Two of Wands to an upright Three of Wands. So there's something that's wrong here. There's something that needs your attention, okay? I feel like there was an unjust that happened to you and you felt a loss, okay? This could be a person, or this could be a situation in your life, and you're trying to balance yourself back together, okay? But you have to allow yourself time to grieve, or enough time to let things go and to learn from what has happened instead of immediately moving forward. I feel like emotionally you haven't given yourself enough time to develop here, okay? And that is being almost unjust to yourself this week, okay? So let's see what additional guidance we have for you, Taurus. Love, okay? So this may have to deal with a love situation. This may have to do with you just feeling put together or whole, okay? The Lover's card is also about choices, the choices that we make. Are they the right choices for us? Because these are the choices that are going to bond us to the future. But there's something about the choice that you're making, even though you're trying to do this in order to move forward, it's not the most healthy thing for you, because there is something that you must let go of, okay? Or someone that you must let go of. It's blocking you in moving forward, and it's not fair to you. But you do feel a connection, if this is a person, or even a connection to this situation, but you have to make the decision. What is harmonious for yourself, okay? It's like you're doing things for others and not for yourself, okay? Okay, next we have Virgo. Spirit, what do you have for Virgo for July 8th through 14th? What would you like them to know or pay attention to during that week? We have the Judgment card, the Death in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Cups in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Wands. Okay, so there is some new communication, or I feel like there's communication from someone. Lots of communication, back and forth messages, talking, lots of movement. I feel like it comes as a surprise, to be completely honest. Not a surprise in that out of the blue, but a surprise that it is consistent as it is. Okay? And I feel like this is distracting you from where you were going. It's distracting you from the path that you had set for yourself. It was like you were standing up for yourself, but as soon as this communication came open, you contradicted yourself, overthinking. And that was in your July reading about overanalyzing and overthinking. Okay, so it looks like before this week started, or at the beginning of this week, you had made a choice to walk away from something. It's something that you have been working on, something that you had your mind set on, and you realized that it needed to end. It wasn't getting any better. I feel like it wasn't coming together. Okay, and that's what you're paying attention to. And as you're walking away, it's making it easier for you, because this could be friends, family, a social situation, a person that you're dealing with. But it just seems to me like if you continue to move forward, it's more for your own pleasure and not for actual movement in your process, you know, of moving forward and developing into a stronger individual. Okay, it's coming to a head now. Okay, even though you kind of want to hold on to it, you made the best judgment by letting it go. You are going to go into this week, towards the middle end of the week, thinking, I don't understand what happened. I'm not very clear. It's like you want some sort of understanding. You have to understand that sometimes things end, or things need to come to a close, not by our own want, but sometimes it just needs to be that way for you. Okay, for the future. The Wheel of Fortune talks about your future, your unknowing future. And being in reverse, it definitely says that it's something that you don't want. It's a misfortune in your life, but it's a change that you have to go with every time the Wheel of Fortune shows up. So you have the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. That sounds very similar. The Knight of Cups means that you could have been dealing, or you have on your mind, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This could just be someone that you thought was your knight in shining armor, your savior, the person that you were supposed to be with, or the person that was coming to sweep you off your feet and to not make you lonely anymore. This person is not who you think they are. Okay, I feel as though you have an idea about them, and that's what keeps you holding on. But you have physically walked away from them. Emotionally, you have walked away from them. Why do you still have these thoughts of going back? Have you thought about that? It's just because you feel like you need that social interaction. Okay? Now you're moving into, or you should be moving into, a time in your life where you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have contentment in your relationships. Even though you're unclear on how to do that, because you might not be a social person, you may not have time to go out, you have the opportunity to find contentment. You are content within yourself. It's just with someone else or with a relationship type of thing, you're having an issue. Okay? Like I said, I feel like all of this communication is going to come into you. This is action, lots of movement, okay? And you are going to get distracted. I feel like you're moving on or you're moving forward, but you're just getting distracted by your emotions and by your feelings, Virgo, okay? So let's see. Choose your battles. I love this for you. This is the Seven of Wands, okay? The Seven of Wands talks about standing up for what is right in your heart, having strength and pride in what it is that is for you, and not settling just to feel comfortable. You see, those heads there, that they are very intrusive and intimidating, but this person is still standing their ground. Okay, they're not going to let them change their mind. They're not going to let them warp their mind. Okay, and I feel like that's what you need to do. Stand your ground and be strong in your convictions. Okay, even though you may feel this way or your emotions may start to change and you feel like you need to rethink this situation, you need to look at the facts. Okay. Next, we have Capricorn. So, Spirit, what do we have for Capricorn for July 8th through 14th? What would you like for them to know, pay attention to, or be aware of at this time? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Empress in reverse, Death in reverse, and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so Capricorn. You've walked away from something and you're thinking about maybe going back to it. Don't say that you're not. I feel like it's just like a feeling in you because you work so hard for the things that you want, that you want to make sure that you're walking away from it with a clear mind. Okay, it's just the process of it ending. You're going to get over this. I feel like it's important for me to tell you that. You're walking away for your own good. Okay, so in a situation you may not have been getting all that you wanted. Okay, I feel like Capricorns, you need to feel whole. You need to feel like everything is together in order to feel good. Otherwise, it makes the path hard for you. It makes life hard for you. And why would you want your life to be hard when you already have things that you are dealing with? Okay? You may have financial issues this week as well, so don't go spending money out crazily. Okay? There may be an issue where someone takes money from you or something happens to you this week that just doesn't seem fair. And you're having a hard time seeing the good side of it. You may deal with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. If you are, I feel like emotionally they're not ready. I feel like I just need to say that, period. Because they may have turned you down, or because they have hurt you or dismissed you, that you're deciding not to work on this situation. You're deciding not to put your efforts into it. But what's weird about this is you feel like this was a moment for you to step up, or this was a moment for you to move on, and you're not going to get that. You will move on from this. I remember saying this at the beginning, and I'm hearing it again. You are strong, and you know how to take control of a situation. You know the steps that you need to take. The thing that is really interesting is you are fulfilled as an individual, and sometimes these moments happen and make you feel like you're spiraling out of control. It's one of those moments where you feel that way, you cry, and then you move on, okay? As the week progresses, I feel like you're going to see that there is more to this. You're going to have a higher understanding of what you're involved in. With the Death card being here, even in reverse, it is a transformation card. In reverse, it's just a little bit harder. It means there's some aspect of confusion at the end, okay? And I'm seeing a lot of that. But with these two cards on top, it just means that you're in control, whether you know it or not. You'll start to understand, you'll start to see that you're powerful and you're established in who you are. And this is just underlying feelings or just some small thing that you can get over and you can move on from. It doesn't build you as a person, okay? Just be in control of your emotions this week. What's interesting is the thing with Capricorns, earth signs, is that when one thing is off, because we don't use our emotions that much, it triggers your emotions to go crazy, okay? Not realizing, and you're like, oh my God, my whole life is falling apart. It's really not. It's just that we're not as in tune with our emotions as, let's say, water signs. Okay, so you have challenging times. Like I said, this is just a moment that you have to get through. This is just a moment that you're dealing with, a conflict. You are being guided. You have to be strong and figure out what your shield is. What is your shield? It's always there with you, regardless if you pick it up and block yourself or not. You always have this shield with you. You have prepared this shield over time with the King of Pentacles. Okay? It took time to get here and build who it is that you have become, and you will start to see that. You will acknowledge it. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. I will see you next week. I love you so much. Love and light. Bye-bye.